Is football coming home, Jack?
I believe, if you listen closely, it's certainly in the departure lounge at the moment.
Well, I'm just because I was going to leave a key in the plant pot in case I'm out, in case they come home while I'm out. I'm swept up by it at the moment. I'm not a football fan, but I'm very much into the Euros this year. I'm a glory seeker. Mm-hmm. I'm just here for the European Championships. Is it Cultaholic FC tonight though? More importantly, from the football
it is
world?
Well, it depends, Tom. It depends very much because I'm getting my jab today, the old Vaxarooney. I'm assuming that I'll feel fine, and if there are to be any side effects, it'll come like tomorrow. But at the same time, I don't know yet. So it should, in theory, be at 6 p.m. tonight on Twitch with me and Owen taking over the Fabes once again. But we'll have to wait and see.
Is one of the side effects possibly poor managerial decisions?
Yeah. I just forget my players' names, and it's just going to be terrible.
We'll find out together. But for now, here is the wrestling news. Nikki Cross has commented on her brand new gimmick we saw on Monday Night Raw. We have another lawsuit being filed against WWE. And yes, an absent NXT star made a shocking return to the show last night. We'll get to that in a bit. Super Nikki has been all over the place. This came right out of left field, that all of a sudden everybody's favourite, slightly wacky, Nikki's got a secret, is a superheroine. Thoughts on superhero Nikki Cross, the spark Nikki Cross, Jack?
Well, initially I did fear the worst, Tom. Like straight away when she came out, and I thought, oh no, I thought, and this is quite telling, I thought, what have they done to her? What have WWE's creative done to Nikki Cross? But as I suspect you're going to tell us, it's not actually all that it seems, really, is it?
Absolutely not. So Nikki was on Twitter talking about this new gimmick, and she says, bringing this to life has given me such joy. The role I have been on in WWE gave me the boost I needed to unveil this to the world, that everyone has that spark and they can try anything they want to. Just listen to your heart. I want to blossom like a butterfly. I want us all to. So in amongst all this is a gimmick that has been pitched by Nikki Cross. Big love to Rob Downey online, Rob Art Downey. He's the guy, he's a cartoonist, he's an incredibly talented man. He does the emojis on Twitch for us.
Yes, he
it's
does.
Him. And Rob put out a tweet last night that was quite interesting. It was a picture that he'd drawn of Super Nikki, and it's great. But it turns out that Nikki had actually chatted with Rob about pitching this character to WWE. So Rob, who's got this wonderfully creative mind, he does a series of comics and stuff as well. He's a very creative soul. So I love the fact that Nikki and Rob sort of workshopped this idea before it was pitched to WWE. So this is a Nikki Cross production, Super Nikki, and I'm excited to see where this goes for her. Always a bit trepidatious, because of the finite nature of how WWE tends to book people. Like, they'll get 100% behind them and then just one day go, bored now. I'm frightened in a little sense for that. But it's certainly something different, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And also, if anybody can pull off a gimmick that's slightly out of left field, whether or not it is indeed pitched by her, which it is in this case, then it's Nikki Cross. I think she always makes the best with what she's doing at any given time. So, I think that maybe some wouldn't be able to pull it off, but I think that she probably can.
We will find out as time goes on. In slightly darker news, WWE once again hit with a lawsuit. So we've heard two of these coming from their shareholders regarding some of the business deals that were going on there. But this is a very different lawsuit, isn't it, Jack?
Yes, it is. So basically, the lawsuit has been filed against them by Jackson Parsons, who alleges that he was severely injured in a traffic accident with a WWE-owned vehicle, saying that on the 22nd of July 2019 in Tampa, a van rented by WWE, driven by a WWE employee, Gayton, is that how you pronounce it? Or Gatan? I'm not sure.
I'd say Gayton.
Gayton Thomas, a props expert, was involved in a motor accident with Parsons, who was riding a bicycle. As a result of this, Parsons claims he suffered physical injuries, pain and suffering, disability, and the inability and loss of the capacity to lead and enjoy normal life, inconvenience, disfigurement, scarring, and mental anguish. That's the sort of the claim that he's put in. And yeah, essentially, it's a sad one, and it could be a messy one legally as well for WWE.
The lawsuit is seeking a whole lot of money from WWE. They're looking like they're going to round this up to a cool $1 million. They were looking for an out-of-court settlement from WWE for about just over $1 million. WWE hasn't responded to this lawsuit yet, but as Jack says, it all comes back to the fact that this accident left Mr. Parsons inconvenienced, disfigured, scarred, with mental anguish, unable to work, unable to live a quality of life that he wanted when he moved to Florida. So possibly $1 million for WWE should they settle out of court. We'll keep an eye on this one, and you'll know more at cultaholic.com. NXT Last Night getting set for the Great American Bash just around the corner. We've got some matches being made for the Bash. We know already that Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly are going one-on-one. Also confirmed last night, MSK, the NXT Tag Team Champions, are defending the belts against Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher. I think, in front of a crowd, Jack, I think this might be potentially a night where MSK turns heel.
Oh, do you think so?
I just think the reactions... yeah, but Ciampa and Thatcher are so popular. That's what They're so beloved. I feel like this might go the other way. This might sort of cement MSK as future, if not for that night, de facto heels against them. I'm enjoying Thatcher and Ciampa's work as a tag team. I don't know about you, sir.
I am. I was skeptical at first because I like them both so much as singles guys. But, they've got a good chemistry as a tag team. And they're both fantastic wrestlers anyway. So I suppose, why wouldn't it work? And it has worked so far.
The NXT Women's Tag Team titles will be on the line at the Bash as well. Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell will defend against either Io Shirai and Zoe Stark, Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai, or Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon. They had a big old brawl last night that Samoa Joe and a bunch of security had to split up. I reckon they'll end up defending against all the teams, and they'll have like a big four-way eliminator type thing.
Yeah, me too. If I had to pick one, I'd say possibly Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai. I don't think Raquel Gonzalez has got a match for a singles match for her women's title at the event as we speak, so I think that would possibly make sense, but I think what you're saying is actually more likely. NXT loves that, don't they? They go, oh, it's too much chaos. All of you get in there. Go on, then.
You're all going to flipping fight, you flippers. So that, as well as the aforementioned tag title match between MSK and Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher and Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. That's the Great American Bash so far. There'll no doubt be something to do with the Cruiserweight Championship on that show, because Fightful have reported there are some big plans for the Cruiserweight Championship. They are looking over the next month or so to emphasise that Cruiserweight division even more on TV. And you know what? The fact that the Cruiserweight division has its own show and still doesn't have emphasis, that kind of suggests there is a problem. 205 Live is still alive, by the way.
Yeah, this is sort of them inadvertently admitting 205 Live's not really working, is it? I mean, it feels like such an afterthought now, which is a shame. And it's the fact. What annoys me is they don't seem to reference it that much on NXT, where the Cruiserweight Championship lives. Yeah, they don't. There's not really much of a connection at all, is there? The Cruiserweight action on NXT itself has been really good recently with Kushida's Open Challenge and everything like that. So I am looking forward to this if it's true. But yeah, at the same time, it's a bit of a double-edged sword, isn't it? It's like, it makes you think, what about 205?
They are keen to make Kushida the focus of all of this, as they plan to, according to the report, integrate more storyline, some bigger names and some angles into the Cruiserweight division, especially this summer, which brings us to the big, shocking return from last night.
Just 1 second there, Tom. Sorry to jump in. Do you think there'll be, just throw it out there, do you think there'll be another Cruiserweight Classic?
Oh, I'd love that.
Potentially.
That'd be amazing. There is enough talent around to do something like that and have some nice storyline stuff woven in and around it. You really could. Like the Cruiserweight Classic, it gave us like Zack Sabre Jr. and Kota Ibushi in WWE.
It was a crazy lineup. Yeah, it was. I think they could easily do it again if they wanted to.
But at the moment, the emphasis for Kushida has gone on. Well, it was on Kyle O'Reilly briefly. They had a belter of a match last night, and then it turned to the shocking return to NXT last night in the form of Roderick Strong. What's going on with Roddy Strong, Jack?
It's the Diamond Mine, Tom.
Diamond Mine.
It's the Diamond Mine.
Diamond Mine.
He's part of the new faction, the Diamond Mine. They've been teased for a long time now with vignettes and stuff. Everyone's been trying to guess what it is. Is it some sort of MMA based faction? And it basically consisted of Roderick Strong, Tyler Rust, and Hideki Suzuki appearing in lovely Diamond Mine tracksuits with Strong attacking Kushida. Malcolm Bivens, which I'm very excited about, he appeared alongside them as their manager as well. Malcolm Bivens is the best. I can't wait. I was skeptical about the Diamond Mine at first. Now I'm not. I'm fully on. But I'm a fan of the Diamond Mine.
This completely goes into the idea that they're going to put more emphasis on the cruiserweight division, because this is like a cruiserweight faction, essentially.
Right.
You know, and even the fact that, obviously you could argue that surely Roderick Strong should be NXT Championship, and he should be, but the fact that Bivens kind of gestured to give Roderick Strong the cruiserweight title when Kushida was laid out suggests, well, this is the path that we are taking here.
Yeah.
And I'm all for it. There was some rumour and innuendo that Tessa Blanchard was going to be involved in this, and Fightful have said that reports of people like Tessa Blanchard being involved was just concocted by the fans and got out of hand. Blanchard was never part of the plans for the Diamond Mine. It was going to be something like this, but then when Roderick Strong did the thing where he left NXT, they said we're going to hold fire and wait so we can make this more of a feature thing, and lo and behold, they popped Roddy into it as well, and I think he's a perfect fit for what is going to be a really fun time for the cruiserweight division.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. I'm a big fan. I love them already. Go on the Diamond Mine.
Come on the mine. It's coming home.
Up the mine.
Up the mine.
Down the mine.
Down the mine, is he? Ho, ho, ho. What a joke. That's from Thomas the Tank Engine. Anyway, stay safe. More news later on. Love you. Bye.
Get out that tunnel, Henry.